certain situations we behave very differently, we dress very differently, we talk differently, we even may look a little different according to the situation that we're in. We take on, not exactly different forms, but in one sense, we try to adjust things. If you're going to bed, you don't generally wear your shoes and suit. You may do, but you don't usually. You usually take your shoes off and your suit, pinstripe suit or whatever it is, or your football outfit or whatever you wear, I don't know, usually. And you put pajamas, is that what men do, and maybe some petticoats or something. The men put on some pajamas. I don't say all of you do that, but this is a common thing. You change your suit according to the situation. So Krishna also, he's the same person, but he expands in many, many ways for various reasons, according to his devotees who want to worship him in different ways or serve him in different ways. He expands himself in different ways to reciprocate perfectly with them. Srila Prabhupada said that one time. Why does Krishna have so many forms? He said, Prabhupada said, because of the different desires of his devotees, he expands himself to satisfy their desires. Different colors. Why different colors? Why do you sometimes wear a different dress? Maybe your lover likes that color. Maybe you do too. But it's to please others. Sometimes you put on the dress to please others or to impress others, whatever it may be. So similarly, Krishna, he takes different forms and has different colors to please his devotees. It's reciprocal, and the devotees do likewise. This is love. Love means you do what the other person wants, not what you want. Of course, if you just love yourself, that's what you'll do. But if you love others, then you'll always be thinking, what would they like? Isn't it simple? That's what love is. Always thinking of the welfare of the other. What would they like? How I can bring pleasure to them. Whether it's your family members, friends, or Supreme Personality of Godhead, or whatever. Even animal. Whatever it is. Always thinking what they would like. What type of biscuit would my dog like? Right? People think like that. I wonder if my dog would like this biscuit. Perhaps he would prefer that biscuit. It's love. It's not complete love, but it's love nonetheless. Some kind of love. And similarly, more so in relation to God. Always thinking, and Krishna, the Supreme, is also thinking like that. What would he like? And that's the meaning of Bhagavad Gita. How to come to that point. Where first Arjuna was thinking what he wanted. I don't want to fight. Then when he realized Krishna wanted him, not that Krishna wanted to fight just for the sake of it, but for very higher reasons. And the real lesson that Bhagavad Gita teaches is that the highest purpose, real purpose of human life, what Krishna says here in the verse exactly, not befitting a man who knows the value of life. The real value of life. What is the real value of life? All of our material endeavors come to naught. They don't have any real value. Even if you act good, what is the real benefit? You still die, and so does everybody else. Okay, you can say you get a better life, but it's still material. The real value of life is when we connect with Krishna, when we understand what our real position is. Our real position is a part of the body. We're part of Mami Vamsa Jiva Loke. Mami Vamsa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We're all part and parcel of Krishna. And just like the parts of the body are meant to serve the whole body, if they don't serve the whole body, they're not really doing much use. If that sometimes happens. And you may call it paralysis or whatever it is, some dysfunctioning of the body, when you want the fingers to move and they don't, or they go the opposite way. You say, push them, bring the microphone closer, they push it over there. They're not much use. But that sometimes happens. Sometimes the system's not working properly. So we're like in a dysfunctional situation in this material world. We're not working. We're there. We certainly exist, but we're not existing in our proper position. So therefore you get all kinds of misfit, dysfunctional situations, disturbances, anxieties, frictions, and so on and so forth. So the direction of Bhagavad Gita is to learn how we can connect as a part and parcel of Krishna, how we can connect with him so that things become harmonious, so that they become meaningful, valuable. Mon is not much value. It's lot series, like a long series of zeros, which don't add up to very much. You put one in front, they become valuable. So the idea of Bhagavad Gita, we put the one in front, we put Krishna in front. What would he like? There's nothing necessarily wrong with us in one sense. Of course, we have our material shortcomings, we could say, physical and mental and so on. But if someone else, whatever that is, if we can connect that with Krishna, then we're not doing bad. It becomes valuable. No matter what it is, even if it's only at 1 0, it becomes 10. You know, whatever it is, put the one in front, and then it becomes valuable. Because after all, the zeros are going to go away sooner or later. We're only here for a short while anyway. All of our so-called talents, abilities, wealth, strength, fame, name, knowledge, it's all gone in a few moments. You can't keep it. It may go today. You may be a millionaire today and a poverty-stricken beggar tomorrow. You may be beautiful at the moment and ugly tomorrow. You know, it happens. I know one of our devotees one time in Edinburgh, very attractive young Indian girl, young Brahmachari, 1973 or 4. She was on the altar in Edinburgh, and somehow her sari caught fire, and she got such heavy burns that her whole body was deformed. Couldn't recognize who she is. No, so that can happen. Anyone, it can happen. We're so proud of it. We think that we're this and that. And knowledge. I mean, people can just forget things just on the spur of the moment. The spur of the moment. I know one devotee in Edinburgh also, in fact. Edinburgh's an interesting place. His father's a little old, but his father's 94 years old. You know, you can't remember. He goes to see him. He gives him breakfast. As soon as he's finished breakfast, his father says, "When is breakfast going to be ready?" Next thing, he can't remember 1 minute earlier that he just had his breakfast. "Who are you?" he says sometimes. We take it for granted. You can't take these things for granted. You know? Fame. You can be famous one minute and infamous the next. Right? Just overnight you can become most unpopular person in society. Overnight. Right? Just something happens and you're gone. What else is strength? You can lose your strength in a moment. You might be Mr. Universe or Mr. World or whatever they call it. The world champion boxer, and next minute you can be completely useless. You can't do anything. You can't even lift up a cup. It's not ours. These things don't belong to us. They're on loan to us. And if we don't use them properly, we'll lose them. If we don't use them properly, we'll lose them. Of course, we may be glad to lose them sometimes. But nonetheless, if we don't use them in Krishna's service, we'll have to have another set and go through it again. We have to go through the same thing all over again. We don't want that. And the idea of Bhagavad Gita is that we wake up, that we come to our senses and understand the higher value of human life, which is meant for God realization. It's not meant to try to imitate God, to try to become strong and beautiful and knowledgeable and famous. What else is there? Wealthy. It's like your wealth. I mean, you can be the richest man on earth one day and nothing the next. That's not the purpose. Not even to become the most renounced. That's not the purpose of life. The purpose of human life is to connect with Krishna, to develop our love of Krishna. This is how we'll be really satisfied, and we'll bring unity in society. I don't see any clocks in here anymore. Pardon?
Around 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
9.
Is it
7 minutes.
7, 9, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we finish this purport. Krishna is described as the original origin of everything, from whom many, many incarnations and personalities expand. Eti chang sakala pungsa Krishnastu bhagavan swayam indradi jakulam lokam idyanti ge. All the lists of the incarnations of Godhead submitted herewith are either plenary expansions or parts of the plenary expansions of the Supreme Godhead. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God Himself, the fountainhead, the source of all expansions. He's the possessor of all qualities. Therefore, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of both